Hello students, how are you? Students, yesterday I explained 6 part of the lesson. Now today I am going to explain 7 part of it. Now listen. Later that day I was present at feeding time. I watched while Tristan slopped the food into the bowls. Mr. Harriet, the narrator of the lesson, is saying that in the evening, while food was being poured into the bowls by Tristan, he was present and he watched Tristan, who was a servant in the hospital, poured the food into the bowls. There was the usual headlong rush followed by the sounds of high speed eating. Every dog knew that if he fell behind the others, he was liable to have some competition for the last part of his meal. When the food was poured into the bowls, which were kept for the dogs, then dog started rushing towards the balls. Because every dog knew if he was left behind, then he had to suffer and he would not be able to eat the last part of his meal. That is why when the balls were kept, with the food, then dogs started rushing towards the ball, and after reaching the balls, they started eating speedily by producing the sound. When they had finished, Tricky took a walk round the shining balls, licking casually inside one or two of them. When the dogs went away after eating their meals, then Tricky moved slowly towards the shining balls and he casually licked one or two of the balls. Next day, an extra ball was put out for him and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. And next day, Mr. Harriet instructed Tristan to put an extra ball for Tricky. And when the food was poured into the balls, then Tricky also rushed towards the balls in order to eat his food with other dogs. And Mr. Harriet became happy at this activity of Tricky. From then on, his progress was rapid, and from that day onward, he started being recovered rapidly from his sickness. He had no medical treatment of any kind, but all day he ran about with the dogs, joining in their friendly scrimmages. Mr. Harriet did not give any medicine to Tricky. He did not give any medical treatment to Tricky. Tricky had no medicinal treatment of any kind. But whole day he used to run about with the dogs and joined them in their friendly rough struggles. He discovered the joys of being bowled over, tramped on, and squashed every few minutes. Means, students, it is the habit of the dogs to tramp on each other, and habit of being bowled over each other and squashed each other. Tricky was enjoying that type of friendly struggle, friendly fighting with other dogs. He became an accepted member of the gang, and after that, after a few days, Tricky became the friends of other dogs. An unlikely silky little object among the shaggy crew, and Tricky was an unlikely silky little dog among the huge and furry dogs, fighting like a tiger for his share. And he was fighting like a tiger for his share during the meal times. And he was like hunting rats in the old hen house at night. He had never had such a time in his life, and he never enjoyed such a time in his life. Now students, I think you will have understood the meaning of this part of the lesson. Now I request you to read and write the explanation which I will provide you in detail. And tomorrow I will explain the next part of it. Thank you and have a nice day.